Guys, what's going on? Blossom's back, and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. We've got a pack review for you. Last one of the year. Will this video come out at the end of 2024 or at the start of 2025? I'm not sure. But I'll tell you what's already out. Lina's collection, okay? If you don't know, Lina is probably, arguably, the second hottest boss of the campaign. I think most people, most players might agree on Lady Blackwood. I'm not making a tier list on how the bosses look in the game. But anyway, even more controversially, she's the one that gives out the Mercedes-Benz that people always fight on whether they should sell or fuse or keep. I'm always team fuse or sell. I'm never gonna keep that car. But anyway, let's talk about the prizes that you can win on Lina's collection. Some pretty cool stuff here. I think a lot better than Gunter's collection, right? A lot better than the Audi. This is actually a 90 plus legendary, so that's pretty cool. It's not like an under 90 or even like a low 80. No, it's a 93 Cadillac ATS VR. That is a wonderful price car, especially for an American collector like myself. I really want this, and I just have a feeling that if I really want it, I'm probably not gonna get it, or I'm probably need to upgrade some stuff to get it. I don't know, but this is a fantastic car to get. You know, if you're an American collector. Now that the bar of prize cars are so damn high, 3.096. I mean, 3.0 is seen as a weakness in many cases, but I don't mind. I'm an American collector. That's a great little prize car. I think a lot of players will want this. The Renault 21 Super Production, very, very cool photo. Very sick car. I know nothing about it, but it looks amazing, and it's definitely one of those, you know, epic prize cars from EGT that I really wanted to get. So I'm really glad that they're actually releasing this. Once again, guys, another legendary prize and another epic prize that is not a Lamborghini. Every time a Lamborghini is not, you know, introduced as a prize car, it just increases the chances that we'll have nothing but Lamborghini prize cars in 2025. And then, of course, we have a repeat, ladies and gentlemen. The Porsche 911 Carrera RS 2.7 is coming back. This car has been given out before, and then we've got the Peugeot 20 Cup as well. So, some pretty cool prize cars, and then we start off with this just random premium, cool, whatever. Yeah, some pretty cool prize cars here. I mean, they're giving us a premium because they're no more in commons or rares they want to give us out, I guess. You know what? I don't understand this. I don't understand this, but the fact that they're giving out a freaking premium pack for the first prize instead of a prize car, that's usually like a rare and uncommon, right? For some reason, for some godforsaken reason, Hutch does not want to give out the 300 SLR, huh? They just don't. They do not want to give out the 300 SLR. There's another one, the AMC Rebel. They don't want to give out the Rebel Machine. I don't know. I don't know. They'd rather give us a premium instead of not give us a rare at all. I don't know. It's interesting. But anyway, let's review the pack, okay? So obviously, these are all the cards that you can get ultra rare and above from Lina's collection carbon fiber, and here are all the ranks. Der Kaiser, versatile, requires some criteria, severely overrated, and this is very on brand for today's video, requires a special tag challenge. And we're gonna start right there with the Subaru Tribeca. Terrible. You know, it's an RQ50 all-surface tire car that doesn't handle too well. You know, 79 can't even hit 80. You know, there are a lot more super rares that are, you know, all-surface that can hit 80. You know, off-road tire super rares that will beat this on anything that isn't gravel or ocean beach slalom wet. Yeah, it's just terrible. The FPV, put it in severely overrated. You know what? The thing about the FPV is that I actually use it quite frequently. It's, I believe, like the pickup and hatchback daily, which is like 400 RQ or something like 450 RQ. And what happens is that, like, I use things like my Pikes Peak. Oh, I'm not sure if I realized if I mentioned it, but I'm on Golems. This is my Golems account. Did I say that? That's my Golems account. Anyway, yeah. So I do use it, but that's just, you know, that's a very specific scenario just for me. I don't think a lot of you guys are just using this particular FPV, you know, every time in a daily. But yeah, it works for me because I only have 51 RQ to use. I need to use a low ground clearance, you know, ute, you know, pickup or hatchback that gets, you know, decent handling numbers. So yeah, I mean, of course I'm going to do it, maybe? I don't know, man. I feel like that's a little bit subjective just because it's useful to me. But yeah, I think the best way is to judge it by how I see things, because, you know, I've played the game for, I say this every time I record the video, 7 years, you know, and I'm just sharing my personal opinions from my personal experiences on how I feel about these cars. And then obviously a bigger disclaimer that I should always say for these kind of videos is that, you know, if you're a brand new player, any ultra rare here might be useful for you, right? And because this is a special tag challenge, most of these ultra rares are going to be useful, and that's why the lowest rank is called requires a special tag challenge, because it will be useful in this one, you know, specific event for a couple of weeks, and then you'll probably never use it again for many years. Mazda, I'm gonna say severely overrated, maybe requires some criteria. I use it quite often in front wheel drive clubs. It's like the B or C team to my Acura TLX and RSX, so you know, it's okay. Like if I can't use the Acuras, then I will use the Mazda. 85 handling and medium ground clearance is not the worst thing in the world. BMW M3, I'm gonna say severely overrated. It is medium ground clearance, yes, but as much as I love the car, I really just don't use it that much in E36, right? I mean, I love it, I really do, but you know, I've just never had the chance to use it that much. Volvo S80 3.2 all-wheel drive. It's four-wheel drive, it's standard. I believe it's 83 handling when you max it out. Again, I have this car fully upgraded in my garage. I don't use it too often, but if there is a wet Volvo event where the RQ isn't too high, this could be a car that you can consider if you can't use the Legendary. I think most of us don't even have that Legendary anyway, because that was such a randomly hard tri-series. What was that? Was that Gunter's? Was it Gunter's or the one before Gunter's? Well, one of the collection series, right? I'm pretty sure. Anyway, moving on. BMW 540i. Woo! That's useless. I'm going to put that in require a special tag challenge. Never use this thing, man. I have this car, probably owned it for over 1,000 days. You know what? I know that I'm on Gawams. I should be showing you my main account because I think I had like less than 100 races in that car. Alright, we've got some all-service tire cars next. We've got the big boys, you know, the cars that mean business, especially when you're driving down the streets of New York or Houston or Dallas or whatever. GMC Yukon and the Ford Expedition Platinum. Basically Escalades, but not Escalades, right? So Yukon, I mean, both of these cars are not that useful, honestly. I'm just gonna put them both in maybe require a special tag challenge. You know, if American Frontier was brand new, I would have put the Expedition Platinum, like, maybe requires some criteria or severely overrated, because when it comes to just American Frontier SUVs, this thing at Dragswag is one of the lowest 0 to 60 SUVs you can get for American Frontier only. You know, because it has that niche, I'm going to put in severely overrated. GMC Yukon, unfortunately, you know, they're better cars that came in this update compared to the GMC Yukon. Peugeot Instinct's up next. Yeah, that's versatile. That's a good one. 90 handling, and it has four-wheel drive, so you can use it in the wet, you can use it in the dry. It'll be pretty useful because it handles well. It's not that overinflated because it is a medium ground clearance. I'm gonna put that in versatile. I use it a lot, actually. I use it in a lot of, you know, is it EGC? Whatever update it came in, I use it in a lot of Peugeot events. Yeah, it's alright. Holden HSV Senator is up next. Personally, I'm gonna give this car severely overrated. I don't use it a lot. The problem is, every Australian car is very similar. It's either a saloon or a ute with medium ground clearance, and they kind of get around 90 handling or close to it. And unfortunately, the Holden HSV is just one of many like it, right? And it's not the best one there. I'm thinking of like the Commodore would be a slightly better option, or even the Ford, I think it's called the FPV Sprint or something like that. That would be a better option as well. Okay, we got some Audis. I'm gonna put both of them in a severely overrated. I don't think that they're very good cars. I don't think that they're completely useful. I don't think they're completely useless. I don't think they deserve to be in the bottom row. But I don't think that they're very good either. So I'm gonna put in severely overrated. We got the Volvo S90, same story for you. Then we have the Peugeot 208 Rally 4. This car is fantastic. I'm gonna put it in Der Kaiser for sure. And then we have the BMW 330e 77 handling. I don't use it. You know, rear-wheel drive standard, just so useless as a niche. And then with the Quattro, which I'm gonna just plug in with the other Audis as well. This thing, the fact that it handles less than the A4. And it's just so much more expensive in RQ just because it's a lower 0 to 60, I think is a bit absurd. And then with the Stelvio, ooh, tough one. Do we put it in Der Kaiser or do we put it in versatile? I'm gonna put it in versatile. It is the best of its niche. It's a fantastic ultra all-surface tire car, really good. Only problem is that, you know, it's all surface, it's not off-road. So I'm gonna put that in versatile. It's good though. It's really good. I like seeing these two cars together. I love these colors. They really pop. You know, that teal turquoise maybe and the blue. They really pop. A nice cream yellow next to this would be fantastic. Actually, do we have one? We don't have a cream yellow car. The closest one is this, but that doesn't look very nice. Anyway, well, let's talk about design aside. Touareg is terrible. Autobiography is terrible. These two, I mean, they gotta go down to ultra rare, surely, right? They gotta go down to ultra rare. The Exige 265e, this thing won me the Bugatti Chiron Sport. And honestly, if you can fully upgrade it, it might be useful. You know, it's very lightweight, 98 handling. I'll be honest, I've never really compared this with the 306 Maxi. I would assume that the Maxi is better than this. But the main reason why I don't really compare those two cars is usually, you know, Epics fight with Epics and Ultra Rares fight with Ultra Rares. But, you know, that's a bit contradictory because I use things like the Maxi to beat Epics day in, day out anyway. But yeah, I'm going to put that in severely overrated. It won me a prize car, sure. It was a decent out. Maybe it was a decent RQ Saber when Great Exhibition came out almost 5 years ago. Okay, anyway, moving on. Donkavort. Oh, yeah, that's the thing about this pack, right? Like, there's a lot of 65s. A lot of 65s, 60, 67, 68s. I mean, look at this. 67, 68, 68, 68, 68. That's not good. And also, like, come on, man. Not a single 69? Really? Okay. Alpha 8C requires special tag challenge. Bit mean? Maybe a bit mean. Then again, has anyone ever upgraded this for anything? I don't think so. Then we got the BMWs. Four-wheel drive, performance. Yeah, I don't really... Yeah, again, you know, just don't get use out of any of them. This is roll drive standard. 87 handling, though. I will give it some slack. I'll put it up one. And then we've got the Audi S4. Yeah, that's terrible. No one's upgrading that. The Peugeot 508. I'm going to put that in severely overrated. I have that fully upgraded. Won me a prize car. I think we've talked about this car quite recently because it was, yeah, because this was eligible for the most recent Tri-Series for the Automobili Pininfarina Anniversario, right? It's a four-wheel drive hybrid. And the problem is, you know, it wasn't useful for anybody in that Tri-Series unless you had like a super easy bracket. But it didn't make a difference. It made a difference in one Tri-Series because it was new and it was because the requirements were, you know, strictly for the Peugeot. I think we needed a medium ground clearance car. It had to be Peugeot. It had to be from the new update at the time. So that's why that car was useful. But again, if you take away, you know, every, you know, training wheel off the filters, the Peugeot 508 will not be that useful. It's not going to be at the top of your list. Let's think about medium ground clearance French cars. Medium ground clearance French cars, I would still use a Peugeot E-Legend. Or even the Peugeot, what is it, 907? One of the fantastic MRA. So, unfortunately, yeah, severely overrated. If you like this car, you know, if you want to be a little bit nicer, I can see it maybe moving up to require some criteria, but nothing more than that. WRX STI, I'm going to say severely overrated as well. I like it. I do. 98 handling, medium ground clearance, four-wheel drive. I mean, that is something that we should never discount. I think that's actually a pretty impressive feat. Again, Subaru suffers from the same problem as the Holden. It competes with a niche where everything is just like itself. It's like, you know, it's a pretty cool looking sardine, but it's like in a whole. I don't know. That's probably a crap analogy, but you know, like, you know, you look at a school of sardines, right? They're like thousands of fish in a school of sardines in the ocean, and you might see one that's pretty cool, but maybe like 3 seconds later you see one that's even cooler. That's basically what this Subaru is. It's definitely not like the ugliest black sheep of the bunch, but like, yeah, it's just not great. Anyway, moving on. Lotus Exceed Sport 350. Okay, where's this gonna go? Slightly better than the 265, so I'm gonna bring it up one. And then we've got the S4 Avant. Yeah, that's just trash. 911 GT3. I'm gonna put that in requires some criteria as well. It's okay. 95 MRA, but again, it's just better. They're just better options. A4 Quattro. I'm gonna put that in severely overrated. This pack doesn't look very good. I'll be honest. This pack does not look very good. Buick. I'm gonna put it there as well. Buick. Okay, maybe if there was like a Buick event, you know, that car would be pretty useful in. But you really, I'm just judging this car based off how common Buick events exist. And I don't think Buick events really come around that much. It's one of those brands where they can't stand alone. If Hutch ever made a Buick event, it'd be like Buick and Porsche, Buick and BMW. It'd be one of those events where Buick is like one of the brands that you can use, but everyone just uses the other brand anyway. You know what I mean? We've seen that all the time anyway. Yeah, it's really overrated. BMW, let's see where it's gonna go. Four-wheel drive, 91 handling. I'm gonna put that in require some criteria. And then we've got BMW 730D, four-wheel drive standard, 84 handling, very heavy. It's basically a boat. Oh, it's a tough one. Requires some criteria. I might move it down. I genuinely might move that down. It is slightly better than the Audi though. Lowers you to 60, just handles a little bit better. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, Audi R8. This was pretty easy. I'm gonna put that in versatile. It's a great car, really good. Only reason why I'm not putting it in their cars is because the coupe is better. So yeah. And then moving on, we have the Regal GS. Tough one. Do I want to put it in versatile? Do I feel nice, or should I put it with the 730? When I think of the American standard tire niche, and I think of the cars that I'd rather use over the Regal, I would think of the Cadillac CT6, I would think of the Ford Fusion, I would think of the GMC Cyclone. Not the Cyclone, I always get them mixed up. Typhoon. Typhoon's the better one? No, Cyclone. Yeah, Cyclone's the better one. Yeah, Cyclone's the better one. It's a black one. Yep. Yeah, those are the cars that I would rank above the Regal. And then in a general sense, you know, if you take away the American niche, you know, take into account the cars I just said, right, the CT6 and the Cyclone and all that. You can also add in the Hyundai, you can add in the Jaguar I-Pace, you can add in the DS Numero 9, And these are all Sanitara 4-wheel drive cars that I would use above the Regal. So I think I'd say requires some criteria. It's not terrible, but you know, there are a lot of better options. And speaking about better options, BMW is a better one. So I'm gonna bump it up to versatile. And then we've got the Audi R8 rear-wheel drive. I mean, it's a good or decent legend if you can max it out. But who wants to max out an RQ80? Who actually wants to max out an RQ80? Nobody. So the best I can rank it is probably just mid-tier. If this was 4-wheel drive, I would bring it down one, honestly. And speaking about 4-wheel drive, the RS5. Oh, where do I want to put that, huh? Where do I want to put this little Audi? I'm going to put it in severely overrated, that's what. Lancia New Stratus, it's alright. You know, when I think of that car, I think of Corn, because Corn has it fully upgraded. I think this is like first fully upgraded Legend, I'm pretty sure. Decent car back in the day, you know. You'll never see a Lancia event, but it is very light and it has 99 handling. I'll just say requires some criteria, it's just okay. And then we get the Porsche 911 GT 198 Strassenversion. It's got the MRA, it's got the handling, it's lightweight. I'll put it in versatile. Also, it's from the 90s. Yeah, there you go. We've got the KTM Expo GTR. Pretty decent. It's like the new version of Hollywood, the Dodge Viper ACR. You know, it's a rear-wheel drive performance tire car that handles ridiculously well. But what it lacks that the Viper has is that the Viper is American, and it's part of a more, you know, sought out for niche, a more popular niche. You're not gonna see what's that? Okay, Austrian. You're not gonna see an Austrian 5 times event anywhere in the game. So because of that, I do think that the Hollywood, the Viper, is just a little bit more versatile. But the KTM is a better car. So yeah, I'll put it in versatile. Then the Ultima's next. I'm gonna say versatile. I want to put in Dirk Kaiser, but it's not been that good for me in the Christmas challenge. Even though I have it, it's not been that great in the Christmas challenge. I will be honest. You need to put some upgrades into it just to beat the freaking McLaren, the epic McLaren, might I add. But then again, is it fair to judge this car based off its performance on one of the hardest challenges we've ever seen in Top Drives? Because that Christmas collection challenge for the 90 plus RQ Legendary truly is a ridiculously tough challenge, and I don't think it's fair to judge this Ultima based off that challenge. But then again, it's the only time I've had the chance to use the Ultima, and it didn't serve up to its plate unless I max it. And the thing is, if the argument is it's a great Legendary if I max it, then I'm gonna bump up the Audi. I'm gonna bump up the Lancia. If you need to max a Legend, I can't see it putting in Dirk Kaiser. A Dirk Kaiser Legendary needs to just bring value at 1 star already. So I'm gonna leave it there. Speaking about bring value though, Speedtail. Yeah, Speedtail is freaking Dirk Kaiser. That thing's fantastic. 911 GT3 RSR. It's pretty good. Handles really well. Did get a nerf recently. Zenvo is fantastic. 115 MRA, if I remember correctly. This thing is insane. That top speed, bloody crazy. Audi R8 LMS is fantastic. Yeah, the Legendary. So the thing about Lina's collection is that the high end of Legends truly are an elite bunch. Like, looking at these 5 Legends right here, from the Speedtail to the GT2 to the Peugeot L500, you really have the best of all worlds, right? You've got the best packable twisty car for the dry. You've got one of the best packable drag cars. You got a fantastic, one of the best packable 4-wheel drive cars. This is like the best car from like World Expo besides the 911, you know, one of the best Audis in the game. It's good. The high end is really, really good, but let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that this also is Lina's collection, everything that you see down here. So, you know, overall, there are little shines of hope. There are little glimmers in the dust, you know. There are some good cars in this collection, but there's also a lot of crap that you need to wiggle through. So, overall, is it worth opening this pack? If you feel lucky, you know, if you feel really lucky and you think that you can get a Legend, then take the odds, right? There are, you know, some duds like the Lancia and the Audi. They're not terrible. There's not a 4-wheel drive Audi. Oh, there's a real dud though, right? The RS5, that's a real dud. But the odds are in your favor if you get a Legend to get something really cool. But anyway, guys, I wouldn't be opening this, and I wouldn't suggest anyone to open it, unless you feel ridiculously lucky. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like